What up, mathletes? Welcome back to another episode of Math with Dr. Math. Today we are learning how to use the AC method when factoring a trinomial. 1, 2, 3 terms. All right. So let's get down and let's get dirty here. All right. First, let me shrink myself. All right. So when we have 1, 2, 3 terms, make sure everything's in descending order. All right, descending order. So you start with your biggest exponent, you work your way on down, yeah? And what we're going to do is we have our A, B, and C terms, our constants there. So we're not going to pay attention to our variables. So our A is 12, our B is -5, and our C is -2. All right. So using this AC method, what we do is we take A and we multiply it by C, and that's going to give us this number upstairs here. So 12 times -2 is -24. And then we take that middle term, and that's going to be the number down here. And so that's going to be -5. Okay, and our goal is what we're looking to do is we want to break up this middle term, and we want to break it up into 2 terms. Because once we split this into 2 terms, we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, and then we can use factor by grouping like we did in our last video. All right, so you're going to see that play out. All right, so 2 numbers that multiply to give me -24 and add up to 5. Let me get them wrong first. All right, let me pretend that the answer was -3 and 8. All right, so notice the -3 times 8 does give me -24. But when you add them, it doesn't give me -5, it gives me +5. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a quick little change. We'll make that 3 positive, and we'll make that 8 negative. And now when we add them, we do get that -5. All right, so once you find your 2 numbers, this is what we do. We need to rewrite this. The first term always stays the same, and that middle term, you're always going to split it into using these 2 new numbers here. So I'm going to have plus 3x and minus 8x. All right, so these 2 numbers, they always replace that middle term. And notice when I add them, boom, I get it right back. So I'm just being creative, but I haven't changed anything. And that -2, I haven't touched it. All right, so in my opinion, this is what's going to take the longest, but you're going to get really fast with practice. So again, you just got to do a few of these, and you'll pump these out in no time. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, just like in our last video. So we're going to use our AC method, which we're probably experts at by now. And we ask ourselves, all right, what do these first 2 terms have in common? They share a 3x. So we factor out a 3x. And when I factor out a 3x, I'm left with 4x plus 1, right? Because all we did is we took 3 times 4, that gave us a 12. 3 times 1, that gives us a 3. Here we had x squared, we had 2 x's. I pulled 1 out, I have 1 left. Here I had an x, I factored it out, so no more x left. All right, we said we always bring down this middle term, middle sign here. So minus, what does 8 and 2 have in common? So we could factor out the 2, because that's what they have in common. And when we divide both of those terms by 2, you're left with 4x plus 1, because remember, when you factor out the negative, you're really dividing both of these signs by that negative. And again, you could always check by distributing. And then we notice they both have a 4x plus 1 in common. All right, so that's what we factor out. So let's go ahead and factor out that 4x plus 1 because that's what they share. And when you factor it out, right, you're essentially taking this away, right, and this away, we're left with the 3x minus 2. And so you're left with the factor 3x minus 2. And now you have found those mother factors. All right. So again, to take notes on this video, kind of pay attention to each and every step. And what you're going to see, again, is this is going to probably take the longest for most people, but you're going to see that you're going to really fly through this with time. All right. So go ahead and press pause, and I'm going to give you a problem for you to practice. All right. So down here, here's a problem I want you to try. Use the same technique. And again, you're going to be able to find your answers in the description down below. And just click on that link, and then I'll have the answer for this problem. All right, folks. Good luck.